7 please to the family. We're gonna give a short presentation basically on Noah since we're gonna be by the beach. Yeah? So you're gonna be with you shortly. Peace on earth. What do they call it? Rudy John? Rudy John Beach?
Really?
Yep. See how those coconut trees are just nicely spread out there? Come on, man. At Rudy John Beach, came to get a sea bath. The water from the sea on the beach, salt water, actually contains the same salinity as your blood. Remember, our skin is not solid, so every time you go to get a sea bath, you're actually having a slight blood transfusion. So yeah, this is our boat. We're going to be Noah today. Our boat's not really big, you know. It's a small boat. We probably can't take all of the animals. But it's actually called El Toro. Yeah. You know what El Toro is? El Toro is actually Spanish for the bull. Why would you call a boat the bull? But if the family knows some words in different languages, especially in English, you know that El is the ancient name for God. So God bull, I mean, we're talking about God bullying, you know. Probably the Old Testament God, you know, because that one has some scriptures in there, you know, you can actually, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know what I mean? But God bull, right? But it turns to El Toro in English is the bull. But El, although it's Spanish, was the ancient Hebrew name for God. But El translates to the in English. So, what happened? I will show you what happened. In Old English, the word for God or the name for God is Theo. T-H-E-O. So, there's really no mistranslation, really. We just dropped the O family. And imagine we use the before everything we write. So, are we putting really God before everything? So, the bull, El Toro, can only be speaking about Toro, Taurus, the Taurus bull family, which basically is, we can say, one of the first astrological ages of that Helios Biblius. But enough about that. We're not here to reason about Toro and Toro. Here to reason about Noah and the Ark. So, to be honest, I don't know why I'm still going through with this, because the family, I mean, if anyone still believes that story, I don't know about in other states, but St. Lucia, I mean, many of us in St. Lucia are supposed to know that mental home, they are for these people on the Millennium Highway. If any of you still believe that Noah story, you only need to check yourselves into them. Come on now. One man, well, 8 people, right, on a boat, and they said that a pair of all the animals, the clean animals, right? How many species of animals are there, family? About 15 million? 15 million. And every animal basically is part of what we call the food cycle or the food chain of this ecological system. So wouldn't these animals eat each other? Being in the same space? I mean, that's not the boat, but you know, being in the same space, man. Where was all the food to feed them for 40 days and 40 nights? These are simple questions you can raise up when we actually trying to delineate this story. Where did all the what's it name? The fecalants go to? The fecalants, the fecal matter? You know, so enough questions, family, and I mean, come on now. We still can't believe this story, but you know how we do at Millington Empire. We got that information for you, right? But just before we just go ahead with this, another way to break down the story is you flood the earth god, right? First of all, you were so angry with man. Man. Not woman. Woman has nothing. It's just man you just screw on, right? You just screw on man. And then you flood the earth, and you screw on man, but you're flooding the earth and killing every living thing. You know, what the dog do you, what the birds have ever done to you, you know. But mind you, you're flooding everything with water. Did you kill the fish as well? How did the fish live? You know, all these are simple questions. Now, for those who really want to believe the story, they said that the amount of water that he flooded the earth with, apparently, flooded the earth with, give thanks and praise, was like 15 cubits of water. 15 cubits. 15 cubits of water can be, you know, translated to in another unit of measurement as 22 feet. So if the family just have a look at this mountain, where you can see from the decline, the point where it really starts to descend into the water. From the water to that area can be considered 22 feet. So how can you flood the world with 22 feet of water, like the height max? Because it said 15 cubits. You know, so all of these are just simple questions, family. And I mean, we as the conscious community know, but even when one is awakened within this whole, you know, storytelling, if you may, you can start to ask these simple questions because we're intelligent beings. So, none of this ever happened, but again, some individuals have gone as far as saying in Kemet, which is the place of our ancestors, that they actually found 18 million mummified animals. And all this is basically in sync, or is basically to prove that the deluge actually transpired. And it doesn't make sense, family. Because of these, let's just take for example, there was a BBC clip saying that there were 8 million animals found in Kemet, right? About 5 million of these were mummified dogs. Because again, if you know the mythos and you know of the deity referred to as Anubis, it had a head of a jackal, which is the head of a dog. So the Rametu, the Kemetian people, right? They actually venerated animals so much to the point where that when the dogs passed away, they actually mummified dogs. And they went around the world gathering different breeds of dogs. A theory says that these animals were basically gathered for engineering, genetic engineering for after the deluge. It has not been proven that any great deluge happened during the time that Noah allegedly existed. And there have never been no deluge destroyed the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? All of this is mythos. You know. So we need to get bypast that. We need to wake up. I mean, it's time to wake up. Enough of that bullshit. You know what I mean? So we're here to give the truth. So as we have been showing, right, these stories were actually copied from earlier stories that these so-called Hebrew Israelites came across while whether being in captive or just going from land to land and taking land by force and saying that God gave it to them. Okay? So that mythos, family, remember we showed in the Sabbath video here. Remember we showed in the Sabbath video that the creation story was stolen from the Enuma Elish. Okay? This Noah story was taken from another book which they would basically tie with the Enuma Elish called the Epics of Gilgamesh. Now in the Epics of Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh is basically a king and he's seeking for immortality. Remember, this is a mythos. And he goes around the world in search for immortality. And he basically comes across this monk, and his name I can't really remember right now. It's one kind of funny pronunciation. And the monk basically is giving him a story how he too was in search of immortality. And he was told by, you know, some superior being to actually make an ark and to take his family and all the animals. The story is so in sync with the Noah story that Gilgamesh actually let out a bird as well to see if there was land family. So you see what I'm saying? So when Gilgamesh learned the story from the monk, he in turn just copied the story and put himself in it. And then the Hebrew Israelites, when they came across, when they were basically in Mesopotamia or Babylon, as you can say, after they already copied the Enuma Elish, they still copied the epics of Gilgamesh. And then now formulated their Noah story family. So that story in itself can never be factual. Okay? But mind you, it goes even deeper. Because I'm sure the conscious community knows that that Noah story, a lot of us, through Asher Kwesi, one of the great scholars, have actually showed us that that Noah story was a little plagiarism from the Nu Ankh, which is Khufu's boat. Okay? That boat that Khufu has, while it was physical, it was made as a symbolic representation to transport the soul of the deities of the Neter, right, the Nesuts, through the celestial realms. So it was not a boat that was actually used for a process, but we can see where it being called the Nu Ankh, right? And we see where it's called Noah's Ark. But we went a little deeper within the research family. And if you come across a book called the Book of Gates, or it's also in the pyramid text, it actually shows the deity called Nu, right? Nu, which obviously is the primordial waters. And it shows Nu holding up what appears to be a boat, but we refer to it as a solar bark. And within that solar bark, you see 8 people, family. You also see animals in the bark. So we showed where it was stolen from initially, and we also showed the route from where all of this came from. Right? So it's just a little delineation. Yes, my brother. It's just a little deliberation from the research we have come across, just to basically enlighten that family onto his wave of consciousness. So we're just going to take in the ocean breathing, because that's really what it is. All these waves bouncing back, Just the ocean really breathing. Okay, it's alive, family. It's alive. So I hope with just this little building with us, family, we can actually see and can go and highlight certain places where this story can never be factual, right? Even in the movie, they try to show when all the animals were packed up, because obviously they're going to eat each other. They know that in the movie. They try to play where, like, they put the animals to sleep by burning a leaf, by burning the 1, 2 leaves, right? I mean, does the rat or the bird take the same intoxication as the elephant? So again, family, simple questions, but we have already shown the root of all of this, and all of this is basically just building blocks and stepping stones into that ultimate consciousness. Because when we are awakened, and when we awaken from all these stories and fairy tales, we come to realize, this thing's never transpired. What is this really about? You'll start to ask questions like, who am I? Why am I here? And all of this will lead you towards serving a greater purpose and becoming a true version of yourself. And having said that, family, peace, love, and